Before the first empire crumbled, before the first crown fell, there was a whisper, a spark, a soul that refused to bow, and the world burned brighter because of it. Now, it's your turn. They told you you were free. They told you you were safe. They told you the chains were broken, and you believed them. You believed the soft words of the men who profit from your silence. You believed the velvet cage they wrapped around your spirit. You believed that comfort was the same as freedom. But look around, look deeper. If you are truly free, why must you ask for permission to live? If you are truly safe, why do you feel a storm rising in your chest? No, freedom is not what you have. Freedom is what they took from you, and comfort is the drug they gave you to forget it. They have buried you beneath distraction, flooded your eyes with lies, your mouth with empty pleasures, your soul with fear. They have given you just enough to keep you quiet, just enough to keep you docile, just enough to make you forget that you were born a warrior, not a slave. You were not made for chains, even golden ones. You were not made to bow. You were not made to live someone else's dream while yours rots away. They sold you the illusion of peace, but beneath the surface the world burns, and deep inside you feel it, that ancient hunger, that sacred anger, the unyielding whisper. Rise, you are not broken, you're not lost, you are only sleeping, and the time for sleep has ended. This life, this one fleeting, precious, furious life, it was never meant to be spent in quiet suffering. It was never meant to be lived kneeling before men who call themselves kings. Every heartbeat you waste in fear is a throne they build higher. Every dream you abandon is a chain you weld around your own throat. Every time you bite your tongue, every time you lower your gaze, every time you trade your dignity for acceptance, they win, and you lose yourself. Not all at once. No, piece by piece, quietly, gently, until one day you wake up and realize you are the ghost of the rebel you were born to be, but not today. Not if you refuse, not if you remember, not if you tear the illusions from your eyes and see this world for what it is. A battlefield, a war not fought with swords, but with obedience, with resignation, with surrender. And if you will not choose to fight, then you have already chosen to lose. Understand this, freedom was never given, freedom is not inherited, freedom is not passive, it is seized, it is built, it is earned. With every breath of resistance, every step of defiance, every refusal to kneel. And it begins inside you, not in the streets, not in the courts, not in the palaces. It begins in the quiet fury of your soul when you decide, enough lies, enough chains, enough silence. This world does not need more spectators. It does not need more cowards, more clever men explaining why it is better to bow than to bleed. It needs fire. It needs will. It needs the ones who are ready to trade comfort for conviction. It needs you. When you rise alone. Do not expect applause. Do not wait for permission. Do not hope for understanding. The first cry of freedom is not met with cheers. It is met with silence, or worse, with hatred, because when you choose to stand, you remind the cowards of what they abandoned. You become the mirror they cannot bear to see. They will call you dangerous. Good. They will call you reckless. Good. They will call you foolish, mad, lost. Good. The lion does not seek the approval of the sheep. Understand this. The world fears the man who will not be owned, the woman who will not be tamed, the spirit that will not be bought. They do not fear your strength. They fear your refusal to surrender, because they know one soul ablaze can set the world on fire. And so you must burn. You must become the thing they warned each other about in trembling voices. You must become the breaking storm they prayed would never come. Do not flinch, do not falter, do not trade your thunder for their approval. When they spit your name with contempt, wear it like a crown. When they try to bury you in shame, grow roots deeper than they can reach. When they tighten the chains around your dreams, shatter them with a single word, no. No, I will not bow. No, I will not break. No, I will not become less so that you can feel more. I will rise, and I will carry the fire with me. You see, true courage is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it. It is standing in the storm, naked, trembling, bruised, and roaring back into the void. Is that all you have? They can take your comforts. Let them. They can take your titles. Let them. They can take your seat at their table, your piece of their poisoned feast. Let them. You are not here to survive their world. You are here to build a new one. brick by bloody brick, word by flaming word, step by battered step. You will not inherit freedom, you will forge it, in fire and loss, in unshakable, relentless defiance. They want you soft, be iron. They want you small, be the horizon they cannot escape. They want you quiet, be the voice that splits mountains. You were not born to be tamed. You were not born to be acceptable. You were not born to fit into their broken system like another obedient cog. You were born to tear it down. You were born to tear yourself free. Even if your hands bleed, even if your bones crack, even if the world turns its back and spits on your grave. Better to die standing than to live crawling, because there is no life without freedom. There is no peace without justice. There is no you without the will to be more than they told you could be. So raise your fists, raise your voice, raise your soul until the heavens themselves hear your fury. Do not kneel, do not beg, do not apologize for wanting what you were born deserving, the right to exist without change. This is your birthright. This is your inheritance. This is the truth they cannot bury, no matter how many flags they wave, no matter how many false prophets they crown. You were born free, and you will die free, whether they understand it or not, whether they bless it or curse it, whether they stand with you or against you. Because when you choose defiance, when you choose the raw, bleeding courage to rise, you are already victorious. You have already won, because you have already refused to lose. You want freedom? Understand this first. Freedom does not come cheap. Freedom does not come clean. Freedom demands blood. Not the blood of your enemies, not the blood of tyrants, not yet. First, it demands your own. It demands your comfort. It demands your illusions. It demands every soft, cowardly piece of yourself that ever whispered, maybe it's easier to bow. Freedom will rip you apart. It will strip you naked before your fears. It will carve you down to your bones. And only when nothing false remains, only when the world has taken everything it can from you, and you still rise, will you know what it means to be free. Because real freedom is not safety, it is not comfort, it is not acceptance, it is sacrifice, it is wounds, it is standing in the ruins of everything you thought you needed, and realizing you are still alive, still dangerous, still untamed. They will betray you, the ones you trusted, the ones you loved, the ones who swore they believed in the same dreams you bled for. When the cost grows too high, when the knives are at their backs, they will sell you for a scrap of comfort. Let them. Do not harden your heart. Do not close your fists against the world. But understand loyalty is not spoken, it is proven. And most will fail the proving. You must walk through the fire alone. You must bleed without witness. You must build without applause. Because freedom does not beg. It demands. It demands your doubt. It demands your fear. It demands the brittle, trembling part of you that still dreams of a savior. No one is coming. There will be no rescue, no sudden miracle, no hand pulling you out of the pit. You are the miracle. You are the sword. You are the storm. And if you will not save yourself, you will not be saved at all. You must learn to love the forge, to bless the fire that burns you clean, to see the scars not as wounds, but as proof that you refuse to die small. There is pain ahead, pain you cannot yet imagine, betrayals that will hollow you, losses that will mark your bones, failures that will try to steal the fire from your eyes. Good, let them come. Let the storm tear you open. Let the fire strip you bare. Because you will emerge unbreakable. You will emerge untouchable. You will emerge unstoppable. The world cannot cage a soul forged in sacrifice. It cannot tame a spirit tempered in its own blood. You will become more than they fear. You will become more than they can kill. You will become the living embodiment of defiance itself. You will be the memory they cannot erase. You will be the voice that echoes through the ruins of their empire. You will be the spark that survives the flood, the blade that survives the fire, the name that survives the grave. But you must endure. You must choose the long road, the brutal road, the lonely road, because every kingdom built on lies will fall. And when it does, only the ones who stayed standing, bleeding, battered, unbowed, will be there to build something new, something worthy, something real, something free. You are the ancestor of a future you will never see. The blood you shed today waters the roots of a tree whose shade you may never rest beneath. But you do it anyway, because freedom is not about you. It never was. It is about those who come after. It is about building a world where no child will be taught to kneel, where no voice will be taught to stay silent, where no soul will have to bleed just to breathe. You pay the price now, so they won't have to later. This is the sacred duty of the free. This is the covenant you swear in blood and in fire and in relentless, unbreakable will. I will not die small. I will not live silent. I will not pass down chains disguised as gifts. I will rise, and if I fall, I will rise again, because freedom doesn't beg. It doesn't whisper. It doesn't wait. Freedom demands, and I am ready to answer. There comes a moment in every life when you must stop speaking of revolution and become it. Not a slogan, not a chant, not a story told in safe rooms behind closed doors. You must wear it in your scars. You must carve it into your footsteps. You must stitch it into your very name until the air itself vibrates with your defiance. Because revolution is not an idea. It is not a wish. It is not something you wait for. It is something you become. It is how you wake up in the morning, fists still clenched, heart still burning. It is how you walk through a world built to break you, unbowed, unbent, unbroken. It is how you build when you have nothing, how you stand when you have no army, how you roar when you have no choir. Yes, you are the battle they prayed would never come. You are the storm they cannot tame. You are the wildfire creeping through the cracks of their dying empires. You will not wait for orders. You will not beg for allies. You will not measure your worth by the applause of the weak. You will become your own flag, your own anthem, your own revolution, because true leadership is not granted by thrones. It is not handed down by broken crowns. It is seized by those who dare to lead themselves first. It is earned by those who build armies not from men, but from courage, from conviction, from fire. And when you walk, you will not walk alone. Others will see your light, flickering, defiant, refusing to be snuffed out. And they will rise too. One will become two, two will become 10, 10 will become 1,000. And the world that once laughed at your defiance will tremble at the sound of your footsteps. But it begins here. It begins now. It begins with the choices you make when no one is watching. When the fear is thick, when the night is long, when every voice inside you says, stay down, stay safe, stay silent. That is the voice of the grave, and you were not made for graves, you were made for storms, you were made for battles. You were made for revolutions, not tomorrow, not someday. No, right now, because every second you wait, they build higher walls. They tighten the chains. They bury the truth deeper under lies and flags and songs of surrender. The longer you hesitate, the heavier the price becomes, not just for you, but for everyone who comes after you, your children, their children, the future that will either curse your name or bless it. And you, what legacy will you leave? Will you leave broken chains rusting in the dirt? Or will you leave polished collars locked tighter than ever? Will your life be a beacon that calls the lost to rise, or a tombstone for dreams too afraid to be born? Choose now. Choose while your blood is still hot, while your soul is still sharp, while your fire still roars against the dying of the light. Become the rebellion that cannot be silenced. Become the memory they cannot erase. Become the story they will tell in whispers long after you are gone. There was one who refused. There was one who rose. There was one who could not be broken. You are not small. You are not helpless. You are not trapped. You are the blade they fear. You are the song they cannot unsing. You are the dream that will not die. And if you dare to rise, if you dare to fight, if you dare to become the storm that cracks the sky open, then nothing they build will last. Nothing they hide will stay hidden. Nothing they fear will stay safe. The revolution is not in the streets. It is not in the speeches. It is not in the banners. It is in you. It always was. Now the only question is, will you answer it? Will you rise bleeding? Will you rise trembling? Will you rise furious and glorious and free? Will you stand taller than the walls they built to hold you? Will you burn brighter than the lies they wrapped around your dreams? Will you be the hammer that shatters the old world? Will you be the seed that births the new one? Will you become the revolution? Because history will not remember what you feared. It will not remember how many times you were knocked down. It will not remember the comforts you clung to in the darkness. It will remember one thing, and one thing only. Did you rise? Did you dare to become the storm? Did you dare to become the fire? Did you dare to become the freedom they could not kill? This is the call. This is the charge. This is the moment. Do not beg. Do not bow. Do not break. Rise bleeding. Rise broken, rise unstoppable. Rise and become the revolution they cannot kill. If these words awaken something in you, you're not alone. This is just the beginning. Join the rebellion, subscribe to Rebel Chronicles, and rise with us